Hey there, another day, fourth day of doing this. If you haven't seen my other videos, you can check those out. I think they're good topics. Unscripted, authentic, just talking. I've been coming out in the morning to do this, and at some point with your consistency, it's just going to feel natural to do the things you do. Yesterday I was out here at 6:30 a.m. Today is more like 6. At some point it'll just feel weird if you're not doing the things that you've built your schedule around. Just consistency. But today I'm going to talk about the fear of missing out, FOMO versus consistency. There is a line where one starts to shift to the other, but I will say, once you started a new thing, you get familiar with it, you show up, you want consistency, right? You want to know that it feels more normal to do the thing than to not do the thing. So with that consistency, it's going to build confidence, it's going to build an awareness for that new thing you're doing, and you're just gonna know that you can do it. FOMO. So, fear of missing out, right? I think it can be complex, but it can also be very simple. What the fear of missing out is thinking that if you miss an opportunity, if you're not there, if you're not where you need to be one time, that you're going to miss something critical, that you are not going to get what you need because you weren't there. That's all that is. For myself, I've always been a consistent person. I'm usually, if I commit myself to something, I will probably be there the most of anyone. And so what that can morph into is, if you think consistency is important, that is true. But if you think consistency is so critical that if you ever miss anything, that it's going to be catastrophic, you're not going to get what you need, that you are so locked in to the schedule or way of being that, if you're not a perfectionist and you don't make it every time, if you aren't perfect, things are going to go so wrong. And that's not true, right? You need to be flexible in a sense where you have that confidence that you built up, so you don't have to do it every time. I'll speak for myself because I dive into doing a lot of things, and then it becomes too much where I'm like, it's too many things. So with that, you have to know your priorities, you have to know what you want to get the best at. And with that, you need to not have the fear of missing out. Because if you have the fear of missing out, you will think every situation or opportunity is the best situation or opportunity, or that there's no sliding scale of what's important or what's the most important event to go to or opportunity to seize. Because at some point, when you get better or you're looking for more in what you're doing, you have to recognize value. So that's important. You have the fear of missing out. And also, that FOMO can be a version of people pleasing, where you have to be perfect, you have to be there and do the most for everyone. And that can be dangerous too, because if you have that mentality, you may not have the same perspective about doing things for yourself. If you're always looking to be there for a thing or a person or a group outside of yourself, you are missing out on yourself, right? You don't create an autonomy to know when it's more important to invest in yourself or this other thing. One thing I talked about this podcast I was doing is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Sun's coming out nice. Intrinsic motivation, or internal, that comes from within, from yourself, and knowing that you bring value to a situation, and you can account your past circumstances and opportunities that you've showed up or grown and got better, as motivation for the next thing. Over time, I've built up a lot of that, and it's easy to forget all the things you've done or the places you've been. But it is repetition. And once you've done something so many times, you can have that ammunition to say, I've done this, I've been here before. This is not too dissimilar. This new situation or opportunity is not too dissimilar to a list of things I've done already. And at that point, you just have to show up and then have faith and rest in the fact that you can do it. You've done it before. So there's that. It's a numbers game, and then with that confidence and that repetition and consistency, you then know not only can I show up and can I get it done, but I can be better. I can do it better. I'm smarter about it, and maybe I can even help other people more because I'm familiar with this thing I'm doing. And then things just go up from there. You get the consistency, you show up, you know what you're doing, right? And then past those three, you have the confidence to know that, you can take it easy sometimes, you can relax. And I think with people that are hyper consistent, they think that, if I don't show up and prove that I still got it, then I don't. And that's very far from the truth. Still gotta be consistent. You can't just be lazy, but you can also know that if you take a break for a minute, maybe you'll be more relaxed. You'll have some more energy to come back at it the next time, and you'll be good. You'll be good because you've done it before. So you build the consistency, you get better. You know that when you do show up, you will show up to the capacity that you need to. Your process is going to get better, whether you're faster at whatever thing you're doing, or you're just prepared, right? Past that is effort. You can show up to the gym 1,000 times, right? Make progress because naturally you will. Naturally you'll get better. But the effort, the times you do show up. You can show up 3 times a week at the gym and not and try really hard to be conscious and smart about your workout, about your planning, how hard you're pushing, knowing which muscle groups to push, right? You get really good within that 3 days. And then you can, on the other hand, show up 5 days, right? You try a little less hard, you're smart, you have that consistency, still push yourself. And those can look exactly the same. Those 2 different efforts, those 2 different consistencies can end up looking the same. And people get that a little bit confused. And you have to gauge and know what is the best time for consistency, what is the best time for effort, and then through that sliding scale, how much of each to put. But don't confuse consistency for the lack of effort. Don't think that if you show up all the time, that means you don't have to try that hard every time you show up. Yeah. So that's today. Keep pushing. Remember, today's a good day. Decide that from the start, and then it will be. So, I'm liking doing these talks, feeling more natural. This is the consistency building for this thing that I'm doing. It will get better. I do plan to maybe have some more thorough skits, maybe a bit of conversation where it's more deliberate, it's concise, there's quality, Here, I'm just like in the backyard, first thing in the morning. Haven't got my brain working too much, but showing up, and then you get better. So, that's it. I will come back tomorrow. You guys have a good one.